Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd, and Joe Neal's here with us on the 31st of December 2012. Joe, Happy New Year tomorrow, and let's look at some photos of birds and such from Fayetteville and talk about what they might be and how many of those you saw during the Christmas bird count and so forth. So roll them, guys, please.
So we'll look at the birds that we got.
There you go. First, that's a lot of Saracimpa birds, the native honeysuckle. It's bloomed in my yard in World Peace Wetland Prairie every month of 2012.
And I know what that bird is in that picture. It's a stealth bird. That's got that new Department of Defense coating on its feathers so that you can't see it.
Right.
And the hawks can't get it.
Well, there's a lot of that going on.
That's a wonderful photograph.
So
that's the first one I've ever seen of a stealth bird.
Joe, we're supposed to have a slideshow and it's not running. So,
well, that's it. Really, I like that though. No, there it is. There's part of the stealth bird right there. I can see the shadow. Yeah.
Aha! What's this?
That right there is a tufted titmouse.
And there are lots of those mice around my yard the last several weeks.
And there are feeder hogs right there, and you can see that little hog. And there's a Carolina chickadee, another little feeder hog.
Well, those.
Yeah, another Carolina chickadee, not black-cap chickadee.
A Carolina.
In case any of the Yankees that moved down here from.
Tell us what's different.
And that's the rear end of a tufted titmouse right there.
See, now I didn't think you'd recognize the back end.
Yeah, I know them from the back end.
You think that's what makes them a tufted titmouse, the way the back
end? Hey, I know that right there. That's a stealth bird right there that the coating didn't work out on, but it's otherwise known as a dark-eyed junco.
Yeah, and it's just what? Basically a sparrow?
It is. Okay. It's fundamentally a sparrow. Yeah. And there's a tufted titmouse with its tuft up, and there's the tuft down.
And they like those black oil sunflower seeds.
They like the black oil sunflower seeds, yeah.
He's got one right there.
Hey, there is a frequently misidentified bird right there. And that is not a purple finch. You see that streaking on the breast? That was a house finch, and that's a white-throated sparrow. It's a common feeder bird, and the yards are full of them. And there's another one with a female cardinal in the background, white-throated sparrow and a cardinal. And there's a wonderful house right there. And I don't see any birds in that picture.
Oh, there's some out there. But the reason I have
where the heck are they? Where is that house?
Well, that's in the edge of Farmington, and I wanted to say that.
Oh, it's on the edge of
That's
Farmington.
an example of a yard.
That looks like a steamboat to me.
It does. But
you sure that's a house?
It's prairie ground, and it ought to be grown up in.
And there's a gas station.
That is the new come and go.
I saw that.
Luther King.
And there are no birds out there.
No.
Well, we just missed another titmouse, but there's a female cardinal right there.
Right.
It's not a pyraloxia. I have a friend of mine who's now a professional ornithologist who thought those were pyraloxies back in her heydays before she was a...
She did?
Before she thought it, before she was a professional ornithologist.
Got a PhD or
now she knows.
Now she does.
We have no pyraloxies here.
I've been waiting to see one because I've got a calendar or two.
You're not going to see one here. I'm sorry, Aubrey.
Joe, with the things that are showing up here, you're going to, in another segment, he's going to talk about some birds that are fairly rare here, maybe, but these are just things that always come here. Now,
everything that you just showed me, including the steamboat and the come and go, and all that are just they're regular things.
Regular
they're regular things. They're in. Now I'm glad that steamboat and that come and go are not in my yard, but I have those other birds, the real birds, including the. I don't have any stealth birds, but I have the other birds actually in my yard.
Well, let me think. The things that have also been common that I didn't bother to even photograph for this. There are lots of blue jays around, lots of
good numbers of blue jays.
Cardinals of both sexes.
Lots of cardinals.
Robins galore and sparrows. A lot of different sparrows.
Lots of sparrows. There's a lot of wild fruit. And if you go out like at Lake Fayetteville, where there aren't any feeders out there, or not, I mean, there's some at houses near the lake, but you go there, there's lots of wild fruit, all kinds of wild fruit, and the woods are absolutely full of robins, cedar waxwings, and other birds that are attracted to fruit.
I have not been seeing cedar waxwings yet. I usually have a lot of those there. Maybe it's because it's been cold and I'm getting.
I think it's because you're out there taking pictures of those steamboat houses and the come and goes, you know, and you're not going to see any cedar waxwing with your camera pointed at those places. I can tell you that right now.
You miss the waxwings. Well, some years they're just really plentiful, but
well, they'll come in. Do you have cedar trees there in the World Peace Wetland Prairie?
Well, yeah, there's cedar trees.
Do they have berries on them?
Yeah.
If they've got a lot of berries, they'll eventually get to them because they roam around in packs, and from 25 birds up to a couple hundred, and they'll clean all the fruit out in one area, and then they'll move around to the next area, and they'll eventually get to those trees.
And they'll even eat those non-native
amber honeysuckle berries
and privet.
All the privet, all
privet. Yeah. I mean, they're going to clean up everything that's edible.
Yeah.
How's our time doing, guys? We better wind it up and we'll start over with some of your pictures.
Okay.
How's that? Till next time, it's Aubrey Shepherd with Joe Neal asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green. See ya. It's Aubrey Shepherd on the, New Year's Eve, 2012, 2013 coming. And Joe Neal's here again to talk with us about some of the birds he's photographed and some of the things that have gone on in the Christmas, or it's usually called bird count for Audubon. Joe, show us some of your pictures and let's see what you've got to say. How was the bird count this year?
We had a fantastic Fayetteville Christmas bird count.
Okay, well,
there's a red crossbill right there, a male crossbill. Look how those bills, the mandibles, are crossed. And we got these up at the Fayetteville Country Club. Nice people up there have been letting us go bird watching. And this is a bird that comes from the far north infrequently. And people have been coming from all over Arkansas and Missouri coming down here to see these birds at the Fayetteville Country Club. We got them on the Fayetteville Christmas bird count. I think they're still up there. But they use those crossed bills to open pine cones. And so they just pry open the cones with that bill, and you can see it right there. And then they use a special tongue to extract the seed.
Wow.
So they're up at Fayetteville Country Club right now, and there it is. You can see it really close up. The mandibles are crossed. And the interesting thing about it is they come from a wide area up north and out in the Rockies and places like that. And in the birds that are called red crossbill, there are probably at least 10 different species of birds. So they're much like Darwin's finches. There's a flock right there. And and they sing different songs. And I recorded 3 crossbill potential species up at Fayetteville Country Club. And there have been some other recordings. I haven't heard from the results, but I made sound recordings there. Okay, we're on to another bird from the Fayetteville Christmas bird count. This is called prairie falcon. And this is a bird from way out west that makes, once in a while, comes east. And we got one on the Fayetteville Christmas bird count, which is the first time we'd ever gotten it. And our count dates back to 1961.
Is that cow a decoy there or something?
Yeah, that cow's just kind of taking it easy. But this is a prairie falcon on the post. And these photographs here are actually from Chesney Prairie Natural Area over in Solomon Springs. But a couple of guys got a prairie falcon at Woolsey Wet Prairie out by the West Side wastewater treatment plant. And they saw that bird yesterday there. So it's hanging around. It's a western bird. It has a varied diet. And it looks like we're back to the crossbill photographs.
Well, that's all right. We can talk.
That's okay. We enjoy it. But the prairie falcon comes way east, and it has to have these former prairie type habitats. And Fayetteville is right on the edge of that. So that's why we got one here. And then I've also seen them up at, as I mentioned, Chesney Prairie Natural Area, up at Maysville, which is also in Benton County, and then at a few places in eastern Oklahoma. So this is a big year. So this is pretty cool. On the Fayetteville Christmas bird count this year, we got these red crossbills, really an unusual bird, and we also got a prairie falcon. So it was very successful in that way. I mean, it's just like an unprecedented kind of thing. We got we got 100 species, different species of birds, including what are called count week birds, and I won't go into the weeds with you on what a count week bird is, but we found 98 on the day of the count, which was on the 16th of December, 2012, and 2 more that somebody found the following day. It doesn't count for the actual count day, but it counts for the count week. Now, aren't you really happy to know all that?
I am.
You like getting into the weeds with the Fayetteville Christmas bird count. And we have a party that goes to the World Peace Wetland Prairie. In fact, Joan Reynolds goes down there. Her party always goes down there, and they get a bunch of birds out there in the bushes and the grasses and the trees and stuff. Always have a good time.
Well, I made her a picture when she was down there.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, and out on Pinnacle Prairie in the back where you've been. Okay, guys, are we out of time? Well, let's wind it up, Joe, and invite people.
Come to the Fayetteville Christmas count, December the 15th, 2013. I had a phone call tonight from somebody who wants to sign up for next year's Christmas bird count already.
Okay, well,
You don't want to miss it.
I'm counting a few, but I don't do a good enough job identifying. Thank you for being
did great,
here.
Aubrey.
I just love to find them and see them.
Yeah.
Till next time, this is Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, the woods green, and provide habitat for the wild things. Thank you.